Everybody tells you to post content, but what content actually makes you money? My name is Chris and I'm an online consultant, and for the last 5 years, I have been posting content and I finally know which ones make you money and which ones don't. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down 7 different styles and formats and ranking them based on which ones convert to cash the best. Vamos. The first style of content that we're going to be breaking down today is long-form educational content. Long-form educational videos are huge when trying to build trust with your audiences. There's a couple of good things about it and there's a couple of bad things about it, and I'm going to break them down. First thing is our attention potential isn't very huge. There's not much virality with these style videos where you're giving value to your prospects. But on the flip side of that, the attention that we do get is high quality because people are actually searching for whatever problem we're solving in these videos. The actual intention of the buyers that we get from these videos are really, really good because we're directly solving the problems that they are wanting to solve. We're showcasing that we know what we're doing, and subconsciously we're pre-selling the individuals by helping them to solve their problems. If we are in these types of videos helping our prospects to overcome a problem that they've been trying to overcome for a while, naturally, when another problem arises, they're going to think not only to watch our content, but you know what, maybe I should pay this guy. We build huge amounts of authority because it's showing depth. It removes any doubt that we don't know what we're doing, and it positions us, more importantly, as an expert in our niche. But one thing about this style video is that there is a lot of prep that has to go into it. These boards don't create themselves. These fancy Miros and different things that you have going on, this is just one example, but there are definitely other videos that have just as much impact, which are much easier to create. So it requires a bunch of prep, thinking to go into it. It's not just a case of filming and going, okay? Overall, I'm gonna give this an attention potential of 2 out of 5, a buyer intent potential of 5 out of 5, the authority building potential of 5 out of 5, but the production leverage, again, a 2 out of 5. For this reason, I'm going to put our long-form educational videos over here in A tier. Next, we have long-form consultations. Now, these are extremely powerful. You can see Hormozy capitalizing on it, and also myself capitalizing on it. The attention potential is niche, right? It's not going to go viral, but this isn't what we're trying to achieve with these types of videos. We are trying to nurture our audiences and prove to them that we know what we're doing. The buyer intent is real, right? Because people are coming to solve the problems. We showcase that we can help them to achieve their outcomes, and it also shows the transformation live because we're sat down with our clients. We're building immense amounts of authority in these videos because it's impossible to fake. You cannot fake being sat down with somebody and solving a problem with them on camera. It's showing our audiences that we are competent. It's showing them that we know what we're doing. And the beautiful thing about it is that you can create these really, really simply. You guys are already speaking to your clients once, twice, 3 times a week, maybe 3 times a month, whatever. You are actively helping your clients to achieve an outcome, to overcome a problem. Just capture it. So yes, we need some prep, but in the grand scheme of things, you're already doing the meetings. Just record it. It's extremely efficient. So overall, our attention potential isn't that big, but the attention we do get is going to be niche, which is good. Our buyer intent is a 5 out of 5. Our authority building is a 5 out of 5. And I've given the production leverage for long form consultation videos as a 4 out of 5 because there is some prep that goes into it, but in the grand scheme of things, they're relatively easy to produce. Not only are these videos easy to create, but they are extremely, extremely effective at getting clients over the line, showcasing that you're an expert and you can help them to overcome whatever problems they're facing. So for that reason, the long-form consultations are going to have to go into S tier. Our next video, long-form vlogs. Long-form vlogs are great, but they don't necessarily create a want and a need to buy. The biggest guys in the industry all have vlogs because they are top of funnel pieces of content. This is where we are going to build a connection with the people that are interested in who we are as an individual. Once we have that attention, we can then navigate the qualified guys within those audiences across to other pieces of content where we can actually convert them. But specifically with the long form vlogs, our attention potential is good. Days in the lives always seem to perform well. We trigger the curiosity, we get high watch time, which pushes our algorithms on YouTube, and they don't always have to go viral to get strong retention. And they're not always going to go viral, but when done correctly, the retention in these videos are very, very strong. Now, buyer intent. Yes, we're building connection. It increases the familiarity. We're warming up our audiences, but it doesn't necessarily make somebody and drive somebody to make a decision. In regards to our authority, if we're living a lavish lifestyle, which some of you guys probably already are because you are successful coaches, it can reflect our results and it can make people look at us as aspirational figures. It shows our environment, our routines. It shows who we are, right? But you're not necessarily going to build authority if you're just in a coffee shop on a laptop saying day in the life as an entrepreneur, because effectively the people that are trying to get out of the situation they're in and into the situation you're in aren't going to want to buy from you if you're doing the same shit that they're doing, right? Production leverage. It's relatively simple to create a blog. You just have to document what it is that you're doing. Now, to create a good vlog is different. You have editors, you have storylines, you have ideation. I mean, I even remember when I first started posting on YouTube, I was spending more money on my lifestyle to try and make a video. So it depends what type of blog you're trying to achieve. But in the grand scheme of things, when we peel it back and simplify it, it's quite easy to create a video like this. Just capture what it is that you're doing. So I've given this the attention potential of a 4 out of 10, a buyer intent potential of a 3 out of 10, an authority building score of 3 out of 10, and a production leverage score of 4 out of 10. So as much as these blogs are fun to make and can get people into your ecosystem and, you know, one day maybe create a client, when we're talking about specifically converting eyeballs into cash, this is definitely not one of the strongest pieces of content that you can create. So for that reason, long form content for me has to go into C tier. The next video style is case study breakdowns. Now, case study breakdowns recently for me have worked really, really nicely. They don't tend to go viral, but they can based on the hook, okay? As everything. But regardless of whether they get 100,000 views, 10,000 views, or 5,000 views, these videos are very, very good at converting because it's extremely niche. If you are breaking down a client, their journey with you, solving a problem, showcasing what you've solved, that is going to attract other people that are trying to solve similar problems. As you can see here, one of my recent videos has only got 6,000 views, but it got me 71 followers. And we worked it out with the content that we tracked. 1 in every 3 followers was actually qualified. And within literally 3 days, we already have closed a 10K sale from this video. The buyer intent potential is huge because we're showing transformations, we're removing any doubt, and we're pre-qualifying the buyer based on the problems that our clients have got and what we've helped them to achieve. If we're helping a client to overcome a content problem and we're trying to attract an e-com store owner, if in the client breakdown we're showcasing how we've overcome a content issue or a lead issue with content, we're not going to attract e-com store owners trying to get an extra 2 or 3 ROAS, right? So we're pre-qualifying our buyers. We're building undeniable authority because our results speak for themselves and we're showcasing the visible outcomes of working with us. And in regards to actually creating them, there are some structures that we need to follow, but again, it's not that much. And for you guys that have VAs or creative directors, this is something that you could definitely offload for a low amount of money or a low amount of time. You can just go in and you can just talk your shit because you know the results that you got for your clients. You just need to showcase it and tell the rest of the world. So we've got attention potential of 3 out of 5, buyer intent potential of 5 out of 5, authority of 5 out of 5, and production leverage as 4 out of 5. For these reasons, I am going to put case study breakdowns into S tier. Next, we have middle of funnel, talking head, and split screens. Now, these aren't likely to go viral because they're not necessarily optimized for the algorithm, especially if you're not a huge recognizable figure. They don't usually get pushed, but they do attract higher quality attention. The buyer intent potential is relatively good because we're solving real problems, we're addressing the objections that our clients or our prospects have, we're speaking directly to our ICP, and we're building a readiness for these people to buy. We're building a good amount of authority in these videos because we're demonstrating the fact that we can think, we know what we're doing, we're showing our frameworks, we're going into depth, we're removing any doubt, and we're building credibility and trust, showing once again that we're competent, we know our thing, we know our stuff. And then finally, production leverage. Again, simple setup, camera and a mic, repeatable formats. There's no heavy editing necessary, and there's not really that much thinking and planning behind it. You just need to share your thoughts, share your frameworks, share what you've done, how it's worked, and how other people can apply it. This is effectively where we're proving to people that we have the solution to whatever problems they get. So, the attention potential, I give it 2 out of 5. Buyer intent potential, 4 out of 5. Authority, 4 out of 5. And production leverage, I've given this a score of 3 out of 5. So for that reason, I'm putting these pieces of content into A. Next, we have storytelling content. Now, we can get a bunch of attention on these types of videos, and the perfect example, next we have storytelling content. The perfect example for this is actually my client, and actually somebody who's involved inside of our program now, Mr. Alex Benshaw. We can reach a bunch of people when done well. If our emotional hook hits, if it's relatable, and we've got high retention by editing or just change of shots, or just in general, we've got a really good script, these videos can actually get pushed to the masses, which then gives us an amazing chance to just build connection as a human to human. This is a way that you can showcase your story. You can be a human instead of being a robot. You don't act as a guru when you're telling a story. You act as a human. And humans buy from humans. So, with that being said, the buyer intent potential is relatively good for these types of videos because we're building connection, relatability, but it doesn't necessarily scream out, buy my thing. If you're trying to be relatable to somebody, if you're trying to speak and tell stories that they can resonate with, they're probably not going to look to you to help them solve whatever problems they're facing. In regards to authority, it very much depends on what story we're telling. If it's something where we're reflecting on the past, maybe something that we overcome and it's a problem that they're facing now, then it can be strong. But if it's just like a nostalgia video, like, oh, I remember when I was, I wanted to make it as a footballer and I didn't. This taught me to work hard. That's not necessarily going to position us as an authoritative figure. It might build connection with audiences, but it's not going to make them want to buy from us. And then when it comes down to production, these are relatively easy. Who knows your story better than you? Nobody. You just need to set the camera up, mic up, and film. You don't have to go crazy with edits. Of course, if you have access to an amazing editor, then do that, but you do not need to go crazy. So they're easy to film, there's low preparation that goes into them, and they're extremely easy to repeat. So overall, they don't really convert, but they are a great way to gain trust and relatability with your prospects. So attention potential, 4 out of 5, buyer intent, 3 out of 5, authority, 3 out of 5, and production leverage, I've given this one a 5 out of 5. So for those reasons, I'm putting storytelling into B. Finally, trending audio and B-roll. These videos are extremely easy to get a bunch of views on, but do they actually convert? These get pushed by the algorithms because it's a low cognitive load, they're really easy to consume, and people can watch them once, twice, 3 times, especially if they're like less than 10 seconds long. These are all examples of videos that I've posted, which you guys have probably seen, that got a bunch of views. This one's got 766,000 views, and it's just a collage of me and my business partner. Life after your accountant says, that's not illegal. Yes, there's a couple of people that maybe are business owners that resonate with that, like it, and come into the ecosystem. But to this day, I do not have one person that has signed from this piece of content. Bringing people into your ecosystem, yes. Maybe somebody will sign in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, months. Maybe they say this is the first video they saw of me. Possibly. But if we're trying to convert and convert today, I would not recommend these style videos. We don't have any depth, so the actual intention of the people that we bring through isn't going to be strong. You can't build social proof purely through lifestyle. There's no mechanisms that you're showing, there's no objections that we're handling, and it's mostly just vibes. This is just brain rot, TikTok style videos, right? We're not necessarily building any authority because we're not demonstrating any competence. It doesn't show any thinking. It doesn't show any application. It doesn't show any proof. Well, it could show proof in the lifestyle, but it doesn't really show proof that your thing works. And it may build perceptions that you are a certain person. If you're driving a nice car, if you're wearing a nice watch, and that's all you post, you're not necessarily going to come across as a really genuine person that is extremely clever and knows their stuff. You might just come across like a bit of a dick. In regards to getting these videos out, that's a different story. They're extremely easy to do. You just got loads of B-roll content, which a bunch of you guys probably have in your camera rolls or in Google Drives or whatever. You add a trending sound, add some captions, and just repeat them daily. They're extremely scalable, and they're very, very, very easy to do because there's low friction. So, as I said, you can get people into your ecosystem, but you're most likely not gonna sell anybody from this. Attention potential is a 5 out of 5 for me, buyer intent is a 1 out of 5, authority is a 2 out of 5, and production leverage is a 5 out of 5. So with all that being said, I'm gonna have to put trending audio and B-roll into D tier. So just to recap, we have long form consultations and case studies as the S tier pieces of content to convert. We have long form education, middle of funnel storytelling and split screens as A, storytelling short form content as B, long form vlogs as C, and then trending audio and B-roll as D. I hope you guys took value from this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm documenting my journey to 100K months and dropping source along the way. I'll see you boys in the next one.